my opinion, there are 3 criteria a guitar has to pass in order for it to be a successful purchase. The looks, we have to have the playability, and we have to have the sound. And believe it or not, I think Harley Benton has done that with the price tag of only 158 euros. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. My name is Krenar, and in my channel we do gear reviews, we do lessons, we do music in general, and all that fun stuff. And if you're not new, welcome back. Well, today's topic is going to be this guitar, the Harley Benton TE62 double bound in Lake Placid Blue. Now, let me tell you something. I think that we're currently living in the golden era for guitar gear. You can get incredible instruments just like this one for 100, 200 euros. You can get great amps, great pedals for really affordable prices. And I think Harley Benton is one of those brands that just brought this culture of affordable brands being good at what they're doing. And this guitar doesn't disappoint at all. The good thing about Harley Benton is that they have a lot of different shapes and a lot of different models for guitars, so you can get anything from a headless guitar to a Telecaster and everything in between. And no, Harley Benton is not paying me to say this. I do get to keep this guitar that they sent, so thank you for that, but opinions are mine and mine only, and there's no one affecting those opinions. As I mentioned earlier, the formula for a guitar is really easy. It has to look good, especially for your preferences, because if the guitar doesn't look good, you're not going to be inspired and you're not going to pick it up and play it. And what's the point of having a guitar if you're not going to play it? And I think with this one, Harley Benton has done an incredible job. I mean, if I show you the body, if I show you the binding, if I show you the sparkle on the finish, you might think that this is not a cheap guitar, because honestly, this is cheap. This is 158 euros, but you would think that this would cost more, like $1,000 or something like that, because it definitely looks good. Even the tint of the neck, the color of the neck, and the fretboard, which is Laurel by the way, looks amazing. And then you have the headstock, which also looks good, but then you see the Harley Benton logo and you know that it's going to be affordable. But if you hide the headstock, this looks really, really nice. Here's the back as well. It also has a really nice sparkle to the finish. I actually preferred the black finish. When Harley Benton asked me, I said I wanted the black one, but for some reason they sent the blue one. And I've kind of grown to love it a lot, and I think I would choose this one instead of the black one, to be honest. Definitely looks better in person than on camera, but I mean, it just looks nice. And if this is your vibe, if a double bound blue Telecaster is your vibe, this will get you playing. So we covered looks, and now we have playability. If you have a guitar that it's not set up properly, the frets are all over the place, the action is going to be really high, you're just not going to have a good time with that guitar. And this one surprisingly has a really nice fretwork. I don't know if they cherry picked it or whatever, but it's incredible. I mean, look at these frets. And even on the unbox, because I did an unboxing video for this guitar, and these frets are just impeccable. They look amazing, they feel amazing, and there's nothing to fault on this fretwork, honestly. And to me, fretwork is everything, because that's where you play the notes. That's why we have these frets, and it feels really nice. I did do an adjustment on the truss rod, which shows you that the truss rod works, and that's basically it. So I just adjusted the truss rod and it automatically lowered the action. And I like the neck a lot. The neck shape is a medium D, they say, but it's quite slim. It has some shoulder to it, but since I had this injury on my pinky finger, for some reason this and the PJD neck works perfectly for me. So it's not a thick neck, but it's not very thin either. Just the right amount of thickness for me. And one thing that I really like about this guitar, especially for beginners, is that the radius is a 12-inch radius. So it's more of a Gibson style radius, even though it's a Telecaster. And you can just get really nice bends with it, and you can get the action pretty low without buzzing all over the place. But again, if the guitar didn't have a good fretwork, then you can get that action really low, even though it's a 12-inch radius. So big thumbs up to Harley Benton for this. If like 3 out of 5 guitars or 4 out of 5 guitars go out like this one, then they're doing something really incredible. I would love to hope that every guitar goes out like this one, and then everyone that owns a Harley Benton should be happy, because there's nothing wrong with it. There's only one thing that I don't like about this guitar, but still it works, but it's not my preference, and those are the tuners. I have these classic style tuners, but it's not that they don't work. They turn perfectly fine, but the hole for the strings is not too deep, so it's really difficult to get the winds in. But it's not something that will diminish your experience with this guitar, because it plays amazing, it stays in tune, and you can definitely restring the guitar, but it's just going to be a bit of a pain to do that because the holes are just not deep enough. So in conclusion, yes, this guitar is very playable, and without a shadow of doubt, I would definitely recommend it to anyone. If you're a new player, perfect. Get a Harley Benton, get started, and you're gonna have a good time. If you're a seasoned player and you've never owned a Telecaster, for example, you want to see what the vibe is, grab a Harley Benton. And if you know what you're doing with your setup and all that, then these guitars are absolutely perfect for you. If it happens that you get a lemon, that's what they call bad guitars nowadays, you can send it back, especially if you're in Europe, and ask for another one. Worst case scenario, you pay 50 euros or 50 bucks to send the guitar to a luthier, and they're probably going to do a great job with it. I've heard a lot of great stories about people sending their Harley Bentons to good luthiers, and they end up with really nice guitars. But the point is, this guitar should be great out of the box. And if you have any complaints or whatsoever, do not hesitate to contact Thomann or Harley Benton for it, because they're really good with helping in that sense. Next up, let's talk about sound. Well, not talk about it, you're mostly gonna hear the guitar in action. So let me play you a couple of clips with this guitar. I plugged it straight into my Line 6 HX Stomp XL and straight into my interface, and I got some of these tones. So let me know under the comments what you think about these tones. I'll listen to them, and we're gonna come back and finish the video. Bye. I don't know about you, but I had a great time shooting these video clips of me playing this guitar. It's a fun guitar. I mean, it can do everything you want it to do if you set it up nicely. The pickups sound great, but I have a couple of spare pickups that I want to try, and maybe I'm going to make some videos about that as well. But overall, this guitar has impressed me a lot, to be honest. And of course, this guitar only costs 158 euros, which means they must have skimped on something, right? Because if it's that great, it would have costed more, right? But the bridge is not like the best bridge out there, but it works. So if you want to really upgrade this guitar, you might want to check a new bridge. The electronics, they work. It's not that they don't work, but they're not the best quality out there. The switch is not the best quality out there, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work. I mean, it works perfectly. I've never had any issues with it. I've had it for a couple of months now. The tuners, they might need changing if you're not comfortable with changing the strings because of the not so deep holes. Probably the wood is not your best tone wood or whatever. It's poplar, I think. The guitar is not that heavy. It's just standard weight, I would say. The neck is caramelized. I don't know if that's another term for roasted, but it's slightly roasted. And it feels nice. I really like the feel of this neck. It's satin, but it's probably not the highest quality maple you can find out there. It's not like a triple A flame maple neck, but it just works. So there are some parts that they skimmed with to bring the price down, but the most important things like the fretwork and everything just works on this guitar. So I would definitely recommend you to check these out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you like this guitar? Do you want to see more of it? I was thinking to, as I said, I'll change the pickups probably. I'll maybe change the pickguard to a cream or a mint green pickguard just to fit the aesthetic more. I was thinking to add a Bixby here. That would be interesting. So if you want to see that, please comment down below and leave a like on the video. And yeah, maybe change the electronics and make this like a hot rod project. But even if I leave this guitar as it is, I would probably have a lot of fun with it. So there's another good thing about these guitars is that you can mod them and it's not going to be that expensive for you. So if you start modding this guitar, it's going to be cheaper for you than if you start modding a Squier Classic Vibe, because those guitars go for like 400 euros. And I would definitely put this against a Classic Vibe. I mean, this plays better than my Classic Vibe, and I think that's probably because of the radius. I can get the action really low. But yeah, overall, really nice guitars, and I'm really happy with this one. Alright, so that's going to be it for today's video. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and leave a comment, because that helps with the mighty algorithm, and I really appreciate that. If you want something, if you have any video ideas, leave them under the comment section down below. I would be really interested to see what you guys are talking about. And until then, I will catch you with the next video. Have a good one. Stay safe. Bye-bye.